Hi guys, and welcome back to the channel, and welcome to what will be a video that has been a long time coming. I have been meaning to do this for honestly probably approaching a year. I have been meaning to check out the openings for the series for a very long time, and that stems back to way back when, one of my earliest videos. I can't remember who it was, I can't remember which video, but someone asked if I could check out the Kingdom openings. And I feel like I replied to that person saying, yes, I will do that one day. And here I am today, finally ready to make today that someday. That one day that I said I would do this. Finally, it's happening. So yeah, just to kind of throw out a couple of pieces of information about this. What do I know about Kingdom? Not very much. Just I have seen one ending for Kingdom, and that was in the most recent season, fall 2025. Almost in 2024, fall 2025 season. The most recent ending I have seen, and that ending is phenomenal. It is such a great ending, and I will probably consider checking out the endings whenever I finish the openings, like in a separate video. But yeah, I just wanted to throw out that I have seen that, and so because of that, Pinecino, my good friend, and a friend of the channel who you guys will be familiar with if you've checked out any of the other videos that I've done, that I've recorded on stream, that were information heavy, where I check out openings, endings for the first time. He shares a little bit of information, not a lot, but just a little bit, enough to get me kind of clued in to what the series might be about. So what do I know? Main character is called Shin, and he wants to be the greatest general in China, I believe. I think that's kind of all that Pinecino told me. So yeah, that's about all that I know. That means I'm all the more excited to actually check this one out. So the openings that I'm going to be checking out today, I kind of struggled to find some of them on YouTube. So they're all kind of different. Hopefully it's not too obvious, like the quality of the videos being too different. Shouldn't really matter, like, for the purposes of YouTube, but because I put a filter over it anyway. Just wanted to let you know, I kind of had to look around a bit to find openings for Kingdom. I've avoided anything that said 60 FPS because that shit is garbage, that shit is ass, and that does not belong on the internet. Nobody wants to see 60 FPS openings. Those are not how the animators design them, and so adding frames just makes everything look weird, unnatural, and yeah, I'm not a fan. But yeah, we're sorry, I'm going on tangents. This is not what this is about. This is not important, but I am so excited to finally check out the openings for Kingdom. So I'm going to just jump right into this one. If you guys do enjoy, please leave a like and subscribe if you've not done so already. And leave a comment down below letting me know your favorite opening that we checked out today, and let me know if I should maybe watch this anime one day. I don't know if I'll watch it on the channel, but maybe I could watch it in my own time. But I would lean more heavily into reading the series. That's kind of where I think I would prefer to go with Kingdom, especially now that it is being released in English. I'm pained by the fact that it would take years and years to finish it, to get caught up rather, because of it's now being released in a new language. But yeah, not gonna yap much longer. I am very excited for this. As I've said, hit the notification bell down below so that you'll be notified when any other videos go live on the channel, and share this with a fellow Kingdom fan who you think might enjoy this. Yeah, we're going to do our best to try and analyze what we see, but I can't promise I'll pick up too much, because I'm sure these are going to be very dense and quite heavy with what they show, and I know that Kingdom is a very long running series, so there's going to be a lot of characters in there, so it's going to be hard to keep track of who's who. But yeah, Kingdom openings. Finally. Let's go. Okay, shit. That is one way to kick things off, with just a big dirty guitar. Love it. That is my introduction to Kingdom. Oh, really cool singer's voice. Love it. 3D looking? Looks very awkward. There he is, little Shin, I'm guessing, standing alone as a child against all these people. Damn, look at him go though. He does not back down. That drumming beat is sick. The doves. Peace? Oh shit, she's cool. Guessing that's the girl we saw. Okay, we're seeing all these villains, I'm guessing. Just mog the whole camera. There's no end. Look at him go, he's still running. Damn. He's cool. Does not back down from any fight. That's what I'm learning right here. A scene like this answers the one question I asked during the ending that I watched, the most recent ending. I asked a question of, I don't know if Kingdom is the kind of series that is very grounded, or if there are kind of absurd, abnormal, like super strength moments where people are cutting through horses like it's nothing, performing feats of strength that aren't natural. In my head, I was thinking, you know, something like Vinland Saga, which for the most part is quite grounded, very grounded, but, you know, Thorfinn, especially in season 1, is pulling off acts that aren't possible. Like, he's jumping crazy heights and doing all this crazy shit. And then, of course, there's Thorkel, I believe his name was, who's just throwing around big-ass logs and shit. Like, there's a sense in that series that it's grounded in reality, but when it comes to the action and the fighting, there is superhuman strength involved and abnormal abilities that aren't realistic, and I'm getting the same sense from Kingdom, and I think that's cool that I'm getting that from the first opening. Like, it's very immediate that I'm learning that. I don't know who the artist for this is, but it is reminding me of I can't even remember the name of the artist, but it's opening 2, I think, for Psycho-Pass. It's like Nothing Written in Stone or something, the name of the song. Let me look that up. It's Out of Control by Nothing's Carved in Stone. And the only reason I'm thinking that is because I have listened to Out of Control by Nothing's Carved in Stone a lot this past year. As I was mentioning earlier in the video in the intro, my friend Pinecino, if you've been familiar with the channel before, you know that he puts together playlists that I don't know what's going to be in them, and I sit down and watch them, and he gives me a little bit of information and stuff, and you know, it's a great time, it's a fun time, and those videos are all on the channel. And that was one of the openings that stood out for me so much. It is one of my favorite openings that I've probably ever seen. The song is incredible. I listen to it all the time, and the singer's voice here really sounds like his. So I want to almost throw that out there, that I think this might be Nothing's Carved in Stone. But another thing, if you're familiar with this channel at all, I am really bad when it comes to voice actors, singers, artists, everything like that. Most common name that I throw around is Eve, and 99% of the time it is not Eve. So yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if I'm wrong here, but I just wanted to share that because in my head, I was kind of playing it in my head. I was hearing the singer's voice again, and I was like, that sounds just like this other song, and that's who I'm thinking it is. The singer's voice is so unique. It has like a certain punky sound to it. I don't know if that makes sense. Love it, and I really dug this opening as well. When it comes to the visual style, something I did hear from Pinecino and from others is that the first couple of seasons, I believe, they're not as well received as particularly the later seasons, and a big part of that is due to the handling of this series, and that it wasn't really given the love and attention you would kind of expect from such a beloved series. So to compare it to another series, the visuals here are reminding me a lot of Berserk 2016-2017, and I don't know if that's fair. I'm sure this looks infinitely better than Berserk 2016-17, but you know, that awkward 3D kind of look in this opening definitely did make me think of that. It was just almost like an immediate thought. But I'm not here to shit talk this. I'm not here to bash on this. I still think it looked very cool. I liked how it looked. It looked very unique. And I'm sure that when it comes to the big battles, it helps them kind of with how much is going on, you know, that there's 3D opposed to 2D, because 2D would be, I'm sure, infinitely harder to animate all of that going on, especially because, you know, within this opening alone, we get the sense that these fights are going down quite often, and we see this with Shin running headfirst into battle, into this fight by himself. He is fighting a war of his own. He is fighting, I don't know if he's fighting for someone, to protect someone, or with anyone, but he heads in head first, and he does not have any real concerns for his own life, it would seem. He's just here to fight, and he's going to reach his goals, I'm sure, by the end of the series. But it's just really, really cool to see a character like this in a series like this, because I had no idea what his character would kind of be like. I didn't know anything about him from that ending that I saw. There's visuals of daybreak and everything, and that could be used to represent like times changing and everything. You know, we're entering a new era perhaps. Of course, the birds flying, I think they were doves in the end, so doves are used to represent peace, or peace talks, and, you know, offering olive branches and stuff for peace. And I don't know if that's kind of reflective of Shin's mind, where he wants peace, and these birds of freedom kind of represent that. Yeah, just spitballing here, but yeah, that's kind of what I'm getting from that. We also then see, you know, these banners, flags of different families, different groups. So it kind of gives you this idea that this is a huge all-out war, like a big fight that's happening from several different parties that are involved and everything. And yeah, there's deaths on all fronts. There's deaths on every side. There's this girl character whose design and appearance reminds me a lot of the main character in Elusive Samurai. I don't know if that's fair to say or anything, but yeah, then we get to the wackiness, where there's this like little coconut guy who pops up, and we get introduced to what I can only assume and presume to be villains in this series, because behind them you've got this really creepy guy with a creepy smile on his face, who does not look to be good whatsoever. But in this scene where we're seeing everyone go by, this looks like it's in 2D, and this looks great. This looks really, really good. So I'm wondering if it kind of goes between 2D and 3D depending on what is happening in the series, if there's action or something. And then there's this guy who just mogs the camera, and he's got a very interesting character design. I'm not sure if he's wearing lipstick, but his lips are very red and very plump. And yeah, he looks like he's got a very menacing, cool design, and I'm sure he is a huge threat perhaps within the series. He doesn't look friendly anyway, and I'm sure he has a huge presence anyway, because the way they position him, he does look huge, and he does look like he's a huge roadblock, especially with that fire behind him. But as he's still in frame, he's kind of fading out, and we see Shin and this other girl, I believe, come into view. So I don't know if it's an idea of his he's one of the seen as one of the old guards, and you know, his time is passing, and the new youngsters are growing up, and they are the ones that are taking over, being in control, and they are shaping the world. So the way he's fading it out and the kids are fading in is maybe reflective of the way times are changing. But yeah, not really a whole lot more to talk about, I feel like. Song was kick-ass. I loved the energy. I loved how it sounded. It was so damn good. I really, really dug this opening a lot. And the visuals as well, I thought were perfectly good. Like, I like the visuals, and I think that this was a really great introduction for Kingdom. I know that I've already seen an ending, but I didn't learn too much from that ending, and this one kind of gave me answers, gave me more questions, and made me excited to see what we get next. So I'm just going to check out the next one and see what we get in opening number 2. Here we go. So just out of curiosity, I actually went and checked who the artist was in the opening, and it did actually turn out to be Nothing's Carved in Stone. So I'm really glad I called that one out. I'm really glad I said that, and I'm very much surprised myself. That's really cool. I'm glad we got to hear another Nothing's Carved in Stone opening on the channel, and yeah, I'm going to be adding this one to my playlist for sure. I love that first opening so much. It was such a great song. We're back to the sandy look and everything. Okay. Lightning. This is fun. This almost sounds like what you'd expect from a One Piece opening or something. Oh shit, he's grown older. That's fun. We get to follow him on this journey as he grows up. Wow, this actually looks sick. Ooh. Can we trust her? She looked kind of menacing. Oh, there's the what that character looks like actually without the costume on. Or maybe those aren't the same characters actually. I've been saying her, but I think they're different characters. Wow. This looks sick. And this sounds so good too. Let's go. Wow, this is so good. I love this. I feel like this is a much better opening for showing a lot, you know, of what you can expect. That was sick. That was so good. That was really fun. I don't recognize the singer or the artist or anything for this opening at all, but it does remind me a lot of like a One Piece opening. I couldn't tell you which one, but it's just got that kind of sound to it, that kind of feel, you know, like the feel good, upbeat energy that a lot of One Piece openings will have, and that's what this exactly reminded me of. But that's not me taking away from this whatsoever. If anything, that gives me a different sense of this series, because I thought the series would be one that's very serious, very kind of gritty, I guess, and there's a lot of shit going on. So hearing a fun side and seeing a fun side within this opening really changes my perception and makes me kind of happy. You know, I'm glad that we get to see a lot of fun along this way. We were introduced, well, not introduced to, but shown a lot of new characters here that were not in opening 1, and it looks to be that there's a lot of fighting, obviously in Kingdom No Way, a lot of fighting going down in this series, and there's very clearly all these different camps and different groups that we're shown here, and very menacing and threatening looking individuals as well. There is one character that I want to draw a focus on. This character right here. Isn't this the character that we saw back to back with Shin in the first opening? I thought for some reason this was the same character that we see right here, the one that wears like this kind of samurai looking, I know this isn't samurai, but you know, like this kind of clothing. I honestly thought these two were the same person. Like, I call me ignorant, arrogant, whatever you want, but I really thought this girl and this character were the same. This is probably not even a girl, it's probably a guy. That's another thing I'm really terrible at. Forgive me for that if I happen to be really far off the mark there with that. But yeah, this was a really great opening. I think I don't know if this is fair to, you know, kind of be like favorite this, favorite that, but I think I prefer the opening song for opening 1, but oh my, the opening visuals in opening 2 are so far the front runner. They are so damn good. And of course we got Shin, I believe, holding the big ass sword, very guts like. The great sword. I wouldn't expect anything less from a guy who wants to be the greatest general. I just look at him, he's jacked. He's quite lean, but he is jacked. I love the thick outlines that they give, or that they give for a lot of features on the characters and everything. I think that the outlines and the drawings look phenomenal, especially this opening. I really dig and love how the characters look and everything here. I feel like this is a really great representation of how I've seen Kingdom look before, from like just being online. Like, I haven't seen really anything, but from what I've seen of Kingdom, this is kind of the look, you know, how this looks. Not from opening 1. Opening 1 really surprised me how it looked, because it looked so unlike what I've seen from the series in the past. So yeah, this really blew me away. I absolutely adored this opening. And, you know, it starts with a big bolt of lightning followed by all these men running into battle. So it's just showing like the chaos of war, I guess. But yeah, this character that's walking through fire, obviously walking through fire with it behind you and you walking away from it, the way this character looks, it almost looks like they started this, or they are perpetuating these like wars or fanning the flames or whatever. Like they are not helping things whatsoever. They're making things worse, and you know, with purpose. So I wonder if this is the kind of series where Shin was a good friend of this person, but this person kind of, by their own doing or the way they were raised, brought up or whatever, they kind of started to do not so good things, and now Shin is kind of against them. I'm not sure. I really don't know. But there does look to be a very, very fun cast of characters. And one that it focuses on a little bit here is obviously the girl who wears the kind of like mask over her face and everything. And when it's showing her and stuff, like she's given a few different animation styles, which is really, really cool. I love the one where it looked very like an old school painting or something. Like I love that one where it looked like that, the watercolor and everything. Shortly after that, it shows her standing in front of what looks to be someone else who looks very like her. So I wonder if she lost someone, or she has someone that she's fighting for, or something like this guy. But yeah, she screams out then right after it shows this guy. So I can't expect good comes of that. We get to see some other characters with really, really cool designs, and I absolutely love it. As well as then someone who can seemingly use clone techniques, I guess. So yeah, there's nothing that isn't too far-fetched in this series at all. Anything can go down here, and I am all here for it because I'm sure it makes for some really fun viewing. And yeah, just getting to see everyone fighting and everything, it's just really, really fun. And I'm so surprised that Shin is still out there wearing next to nothing. He's not wearing like armor, he's just wearing tattered looking tunic with sandals. Like I don't know, he's better than everyone because, you know, everyone needs all this armor and he doesn't. So he's just kind of flexing at this point. He's playing like deprived Dark Souls, and he's rolling around with no armor on. He's getting his speed up. He's not fat rolling, anything like that. But then, you know, the shot at the end where it shows him with the gang, it gives you a real sense of camaraderie, and I love it. I think this was really cool, and I really, really dig this opening a lot. I absolutely love this one, and yeah, I can't wait to see what we get in the next one. We're going to check it out. So yeah, here we go. Opening number 3. Let's see. Before we even start this one, I can see that the sand dunes are back, you know, the sandy plains. So let's see what we get here. There's no life growing out here at all. It's just a battlefield. So yeah, here we go. Okay, we are back in fights. More energy, let's go. Kingdom. Oh, the logo's different. Shin looks older yet again. I love this. He's wearing armor now too, that's crazy. Oh, this guy is by his side. Okay, so whoever that is, they are a friend? I don't know. I just find it hard to trust people, especially when they got menacing looking faces. Okay, we're seeing so many people here. Are these going up in rank there? The further they go up, the more important they are? Hell yeah! Oh shit, look at that. That is a big battle right there. This is a fun opening too. Oh, he got cut on both cheeks. Isn't that guy someone that was standing with us in the second opening? Weren't they on our side in opening 2 and now they're against us? Or am I crazy? That's wild. This looks to be the villain of season 3. Season 3, I think it's season 3, at least within this opening anyway. But yeah, this was cool. It started off with this really interesting filter over everything. It made everything look more dated. I don't know if that makes sense. You know, because of the washed looking filter. Again, I don't know if any of this makes sense. I just want to give a kudos to the team working on Kingdom, that they don't shy away from animating horses. You know, I'm looking at it here. It's not the prettiest animation I've ever seen, but I know that animating horses is supposed to be like really, really difficult, and it's something that a lot of companies and stuff will try to shy away from. So good on them for actually animating them. It's probably 3D CG anyway, but you know, point still stands. We'll see how Steel Ball Run looks, I guess, in a handful of months here, because I know that that is a series. It's all horses as well. So you know, kudos here to the teams working on this, that they didn't shy away from this at all. They kind of tackled it head on. So now I'm wondering as well, what happens between seasons that there's like a time skip? It seems there's been a time skip between each opening. I don't know if that's truly the case, or if it's just they're refining the animation style and look and appearance and everything. But if I was to guess, I would say that Shin was seen as too young to be part of the army and everything, but he still went out there and fought anyway, and now he's old enough that he's been accepted and he's wearing the armor. Like, that's my guess there. He's now one of them. He's wearing the armor and everything, and he's out there fighting, and he does look to still be calling some shots and stuff, like he's out in front with his sword held high. But I can't help but imagine there's you know, time being passed between each opening season perhaps, and I can't quite put my finger on how that would happen. But yeah, Shane looks cool. I love how over the course of these openings, I feel like we've seen him look a lot colder. He looks a lot more focused on his goals and everything, and he's staring dead ahead, and I kind of really like that. I love that he seemingly has matured a lot across the series. I just worry that he's lost a lot of what made him want to do this, and now he's very serious, and I hope that he can still, I don't know if I would say have fun, because you know, this is all fighting and wars and everything, but I hope that he can still appreciate what he has, and you know, I'm sure he has something he wants to fight for, and he has people he wants to protect, so I'm sure that's a driving force for him. But he does look very stern and serious in this, so I can't help but imagine that in season 3 it's very character driven, I would say. Like there's a lot of emotion perhaps, and there's a lot of story happening behind the scenes, and you know, it's not just all fighting, all wars and stuff this season. There's a lot of drama involved, is kind of how I'm interpreting what I'm seeing here with how characters appear and everything like that. Again, I cannot trust the character that was back to back with Shin, I believe, in opening 1, as far as I can throw them. They don't look very friendly anytime we see them, but who knows, because Shin doesn't look very friendly in this opening either, so maybe I'm just being very unfair because of the burrowed eyebrows and everything. But there's just a really cool look in this series where like a lot of the characters have these kind of, you know, really angry looking eyebrows, but I just think maybe it's a design choice. Maybe it's not like showing that they're pissed or anything. After all, every piece of armor is sick, every character's design looks sick, and yeah, I love how this looks so much. There's so many characters here that look so cool, so interesting, and I need to know more about them. Like in the scene where it's showing all these characters and it's panning up, there's a couple there that look really interesting to me that I'd love to see more of. And yeah, I wonder, like the group that Shin fights alongside, is it like an army for a faction that is fighting in this war, or what is happening? Because we see so many different factions here, like so many. And yeah, there's characters that look really weird and interesting here. Like there's a shot where it shows a group where the leader, it appears, has no eyebrows. Someone to behind them to their right, but on the left of the screen, has like all these lines on their faces and on their face, and they look very pale, very white. So there's going to be a lot of interesting, strange characters within this, And as well as that, we get a character that we saw in the previous opening as well, the one that I've already talked about, who probably is the main villain, antagonist, I guess you would say is a better word for this season, this part, this arc perhaps, who is one of the only characters that look like a normal guy in this world. And he's someone who's commanding an army, it appears, so Shin has to fight through the army to get to him. The scenes where it's showing how many people are outside the gates of this wall, outside the walls of this castle, whatever happens to be, fort, it's crazy. It goes to show just how large scale these fights, battles, wars are. There are so many people. I cannot imagine what animating like this whole thing must have been like. It must have been torture, but I hope that people enjoyed it. I hope that this came out really well, because this looks sick. It's reminding me a lot of the battle at Helm's Deep from the Two Towers, Lord of the Rings. That's a great comparison to be made, because that is an incredible big all-out war battle fight, and this one really does remind me of that. Obviously it's during daytime, but that's not something we'll linger on too much. But yeah, this looked incredible, and I cannot wait to see more of this series through the openings. But yeah, I think I'm going to move on to the next one and see what Shin brings us to. So here we go. We're going to see what we get in opening number 4 and see what's up. Okay. Oh, here we go. Love how this sounds. Is this the same artist as the previous opening? There he is. Oh, we gotta fight to get to him. Let's go. We're getting to see some action. Hell yeah. We're fighting her? I thought she was on our side. No. We definitely were alongside her. That's wild. Who is that big boy? There we go. Shin standing alongside some of his folks. I guess this is his friend, someone that he works with. I don't know why I don't trust that guy. Wow, a fist bump. They really are friends. Forgive me for not trusting them sooner. That was cool. Oh, Shin jumping in with a big swipe attack. This one was really cool because it kind of tells you a story. It tells you a story of this team overcoming great odds, because they look to be beat up, they look to be pushed down, and characters have, you know, shocked faces and everything, and they're not looking to be in the highest spirits and everything, but by the end of this, everyone's smiling, they're fist bumping and everything, so it kind of tells you that things are going to be okay by the end. But there is certainly that sense of dread and doubt prior to the end, because the whole time leading up to that, you get the sense that Shin will not come out of this unscathed. Or, well, maybe he will because of plot armor, but some of his friends might not. So yeah, there's a lot of tension here, because we start to see all these other antagonists, I would imagine, as then we settle on the final one, the guy that we saw in other openings in the past, and he looks like he's ready to fight. He is staring down the camera and he is not looking away. And right as soon as it finishes showing that guy, we get to see Shin, who's down on his hands and knees, struggling to get back up on his feet. So a lot has happened. And not everything is okay. This is not all okay right now. 100% not. But as then we see the girl character, I don't really know how else to describe her. She does a little twirl and Shin gets back up on his feet and starts fighting. He does his big patented jump and starts fighting off all these folks. But this girl then jumps in, the one that I thought was our friend, and she starts fighting Shin too. So unless this is just a similar design, I think it might actually be a similar design. I don't know if it's her at all, actually. Who knows? I don't have a damn clue. Seeing all these characters fighting and everything, it's so cool because you get the sense that every character fights in a different way. Every character is very different. You know, there's commanders and everything. There's those that fight with brute strength. There's those that fight with skill. And I think that this would be a really cool series to see all that diversity and versatility, you know, on the battlefield in a big war like this. You would get to see so much. We do then see Shin's gang, and it's a very small group of maybe 5 or 6 that are very close, and they are the group that we've seen together since opening 1, I believe. But in opening 2, I think we saw Shin with a bunch of other people, and now he's not surrounded by those people anymore. I wonder if they are all in the group with this other guy, or if something terrible happened. Who knows? But anyway, it's just really interesting to see that Shin is actually with this guy that I was not trusting this whole time, because yeah, I was even calling this guy a girl at the beginning. Like, I am so bad when it comes to this shit. I just cannot wait to see what comes of everything. Like, I hope that everyone's okay, because, you know, you kind of grow to love these characters. You kind of grow to appreciate them and want to see the best for them. So knowing that this is a war series, you cannot expect everyone to come out of this unscathed. It's not realistic, and I imagine it's going to be heartbreaking at times, and I hope that it doesn't happen as early as season 3, but you never know, right? Or maybe this is season 4 actually, because this is the 4th opening. Never mind. I forgot that we had already seen one, because I thought this one sounded sort of similar to the previous one with the singer's voice. But yeah, I think we're ready to check out the next one. This is really cool. Love the song, love the visuals. Really, really great. Having Shin pop in at the end and sweep the whole camera was really, really fun. But let's check out what we get in number 5. Here we go. Oh, the moon is out, and we are standing with this guy. Okay, and we're seeing others who are all looking out in the same direction. That guy looks crazy. Shin, what have you got for us? Kingdom is back. That was really, really... Seeing them kind of pan into frame like that is really weird. Never seen anything quite like that. Who's that character? Who are these characters? I don't trust any of you. I only trust Shin. Can I trust you? Can I trust you? Like, I don't know. I don't know if I'm supposed to know. Someone just died. Was that the character out of their shell? Finally? They're not wearing the outfit? Shin does look to be getting older each opening though, which is really cool. Oh, it's over already? Oh, that ended so quickly. So starting with like a gong and, you know, the way that this opening started, like sound-wise, it did sound like very ominous, and it sounded like death is coming sort of thing with the dark visuals and everything, and the moon. It definitely makes you think, hey, what happened between last season and this one, or last opening and this one, that has led to such awful things? But then it shows some characters and it comes into light, you know, this girl character and some other guy, and I'm wondering if they are important figures that do bring good to the world or something, and that's why they're in light. But there's someone that's in their ear that's twisting and manipulating things, and that's who it shows then immediately after, and that's when things get dark again. I don't know if that's kind of what that visual storytelling is telling us, or if I'm reading too much into it. But Shin cuts through all the darkness and cuts through some of the creepy guys that we see, and that's when we start to see more of what we've seen in the past with the fighting and everything. This opening did have a kind of somber sound to it. It didn't sound as hype beast throughout as some of the others. It sounded like it had hype moments for sure, which was really cool and fun, but it also brought things down a bit, and it kind of let things simmer, I guess. So I wonder if this season is one where there's a lot going on, but it's maybe internal character problems that are being addressed or something, like, I don't know. But it is a really, really cool song for telling you such things. The song, the visuals, really, really cool, well paired with one another as well. And yeah, seeing everyone again, like, it's just always fun catching up with the characters in the openings. But this girl character does seem to be very enigmatic. Like, she doesn't seem to really follow anyone or do what you would expect. She's kind of doing her own thing the entire time. And we also see the way some others have grown into their roles. The girl who would wear like the little shell suit or whatever, she was someone who hid away and everything at the beginning, and we saw over the course of the openings that she would be strategic and be involved in map plans and everything, and now she's out here commanding a group, commanding an army. She has gone above and beyond to prove that she can do such things. And yeah, I think it's just really fun to think that she's now super involved in everything, and she proved her worth in the previous openings and stuff. And yeah, second time we end an opening with Shin jumping in to slash us up, right? Okay. This one's got a pulsing beat. Wonder where it's gonna go, like if it goes crazy intense. Oh, not so much. Okay. Look at everyone coming into view in the background there. Shin out in front and everyone appearing behind him. Our main character, of course. The hawk? Was that a hawk? She looked menacing. Oh, she's some relation to... A triple fist bump. Let's go. This one has a lot of soul and heart, this song. Very surprising considering where it started. But I dig it. It's going in completely different directions. Showing the heart of the series. The core. And the bird flying away is how we end this. So the opening begins and ends in a very similar way with the bird. You know, I think it might be a hawk. I'm not entirely sure. And that's telling you some kind of story about, you know, freedom and everything like that. And flying high above everything and seeing the world for what it is, I guess. And, you know, birds are disconnected from this war and everything that's happening. So the birds could be used as symbolism for a future without that war, a future where anything is possible. And so beginning and ending in the same way can kind of tell you that despite everything that happens, the core principles and the core values of certain characters still shine through and still carry on into the future. And especially showing the bird flying towards the sun obviously, you know, representing like a new day, a new age, everything coming together, can be used to represent that too. But there does look to be a lot of strife this season, or within this arc anyway, because characters are standing alone. Characters are standing looking out towards the war zone and everything kind of looks like, okay, what's really happening here? Should I start to feel worried? Should I start to be concerned about everything? And obviously in a series like this, you should be concerned, but I think that one of the great things about this opening in particular is the shot where Shin is walking alone, his silhouette with the dust behind him, and it's reminding you a lot of opening 1, but slowly but surely other characters' silhouettes start to appear alongside him, and you know he is not alone anymore. He is not that lone child standing against a whole army anymore. He's got everyone alongside him, and that's I think really cool and important to remember, because despite everything, what one character is going through is not going to be outweighing everything that goes on in this entire series, because the whole party is together now. It's a tight-knit group, and they look to be really there for one another, which I really love and appreciate. To go back to talking about the hawk, if it is a hawk, that is. Hawks are obviously predators. They hunt from the sky and everything, so that kind of symbolism could be used to represent these people who do go to war. We see several new characters again here, or maybe we don't. Maybe it's just seeing characters we've already seen, but regardless of that, we do get introduced to this female looking character who seemingly might be related or have some sort of relationship with the guy who seems to be commanding the army that Shin is in. There's gonna be some serious family drama stuff within this arc, and that makes sense considering the song and the sound of the song. It definitely took a more soulful approach, like not like a soul song, but it didn't sound as hectic and chaotic and energy filled as some of the others as this went on. Like it started with a driving beat, you know, like a heart thumping beat, but as the song went on, it twisted and turned into something very different, and I think that that's kind of representative of how I felt about this one, where it surprised me. It took me in a direction I wasn't expecting, and maybe that's really important for this arc in this season, where things kind of do go a very different way and it's not what you would expect whatsoever. And yeah, we get a triple fist bump in this one, and I think the new character in the fist bump is the girl who wore the shell outfit in opening 1 and everything, because she seems to have been taking a much bigger role going forward with commanding and everything. And yeah, we're seeing less characters that we saw in the past, so that tells me that we've moved past old threats like the guy from openings like 2, 3, maybe 3 and 4 or something like that. We're not seeing him anymore, so I'm guessing he is in the past and we have moved on past him, and he is no longer a threat. He's no longer someone we think about or worry about. Knowing the nature of war and how things change so drastically, so dramatically, so often, I can't help but wonder if he's truly left behind or anything like that. Like maybe he's still out there. And something else as well, the guy with the buck teeth, I swear every opening his teeth are getting longer. I don't know if I'm imagining things or if I'm going crazy, but I imagine by the final opening in this, his teeth are going to be down by his chest. Like he is getting bigger teeth every single time I notice him. So yeah, I think we're going to check out the next one, opening number 6, 7. I'm not entirely, jeez, I didn't even mean that. Opening number 7, I think. So here we go, we're going to check it out. Let's go. Okay, very traditional sounding, love it. Reminds me a lot of the most recent ending that I saw. Oh, that guy, we saw him in like opening 2, I think. He's still around, he's still a huge threat. The forest is aflame. Oh, I love the singer's voice. Really, really nice voice. The spider. But that blend of traditional and modern instruments at the beginning of this opening was so cool. Get up, Shin. You still got more to do. Sick. Oh, that guy got in our face. I swear his teeth are getting longer. Oh, she still wears that, like a part of a costume looking thing. That guy is still a huge threat. I didn't realize he was that much of a threat because he's shown up but hasn't had that much of a focus, so that's interesting. Okay, that girl is with us now. Like, what is happening? She's really confusing me. She shows up and then she doesn't. This opening had such a cool sound to it. It really, really sounded kind of gritty and definitely sat apart from some of the others, especially that intro. I love the blend of traditional and modern instrumentation within this. I kind of wish that it went more into that instead of just being in the opening seconds or whatever, but you know, beggars can't be choosers. So yeah, I just appreciate what we got, and it definitely reminded me of the most recent ending that we've seen, which I love that ending so much. It was phenomenal. But yeah, this one definitely showcased the characters that are going to be present within this season, within this arc, whatever happens to be. And it surprised me a lot because some characters that we saw kind of just shown in the background in the past seem to have a much bigger focus now. Namely, the guy who has the like long hair or whatever, or he has like a big furry thing around his cloak or whatever, and he's got the single beard thing. Seemingly very important now because he's getting a huge focus within this opening. And the creepy guy with no eyebrows as well is very important now. So it's nice to see that this is this kind of series that introduces you to all these villains and characters long before they might become the huge central focus of everything going on. I love that because I love getting to meet and know and learn about these characters before they become a huge focus, before they become the biggest focus of the series, because you've spent time with them and so you know them a bit more, and so you spent time with them more, and so you've got more of a bond, attachment, or understanding, or even just like you've got more feelings, not necessarily good feelings, for that character in specific. And I imagine that with a series as huge as this one, the villain characters are probably some of the most interesting, some of the most fun to learn about. So I do really love that there seems to be a huge focus on antagonistic figures within this opening in particular. I know that there has been within every opening, but yeah, just wanted to throw that out there. The shot of that one antagonistic figure who it zoomed in on and had the eyes and everything, and there's fire behind him, he seems to be maybe someone who is a huge, deeper threat. Maybe not so much right now, but overarching and overall, like he is maybe one of the biggest threats in the series, because we saw symbolism of forest on fire and everything within this, and you know, showing him as well with the fire kind of tells you he might be the one causing these flames. He's the one that's responsible for a lot of the shit going down. So I'm thinking now that maybe the fact that we saw that followed then by Shin struggling to stand up kind of tells you exactly what you need to know, that he's going to be a threat going forward, but maybe not right now, because what's in front of him is the war to come. You know, like we see him fighting other figures and stuff. This guy that we saw at the beginning that I was talking about with the long dark hair and everything, and the single pointy beard thing, he seems to be the focus right now anyway. If maybe that's the case, I'm not sure. But yeah, this was a really, really cool opening because you get the sense that everything's not okay and that they need to rely on each other, and there's a lot of back and forth maybe this season. And yeah, this was a really, really cool one. Love the sound of this, love the singer's voice, and yeah, what a really cool opening to showcase more of Kingdom. And yeah, I'm starting to see some familiar characters in the background when it shows shots with Shin with you know, his group behind him. So it's nice to see that everyone's surviving out there and they're not taking all of the lives, all of our folks' lives. And I'm sure we've lost some along the way, but I'm glad that we've got, you know, what looks to be a solid core. But yeah, let's check out the final opening for this. If you guys have enjoyed this video, please leave a like and subscribe if you have not done so already, and comment down below letting me know your favorite opening in this list, and of course hit the notification bell if you want to be notified when videos like this one go live. And maybe I'll consider checking out the endings, and if you hit the bell you'll be notified when that goes live, if it does in general. And share this with someone who you think might enjoy reaction content to King. So yeah, let's check out the final opening for Kingdom. Here we go. What is this, purple? Okay. Jeez, look at the run. Oh, look at that. That was pretty. Wow. Very Hey Jude-esque there for a second. This is the most recent season, right? This looks incredible, like visually. The song as well sounds almost like, remember the Glory Days, kind of like it sounds like almost like a final opening type deal, like nostalgic almost. Oh, isn't that the character from like opening 3? man, look at that. They're still going through it. Holy shit. Oh, that guy from opening 1 is back. He was in the background there, I believe, with the big lips and the... yeah. Huh. Wow, the flowers, because this whole battlefield has been a dead zone. There's been no life. That was really pretty. That was very, very stunning. But I can't help but wonder if the scene then with all the petals and everything, and it shows, you know, characters behind Shin, I can't help but wonder if those are all characters that are dead now, because we never saw them in any of the other openings, and it's kind of got that nostalgic feel to it. It's kind of got that feeling of what came before, especially with the lighting and everything, and Shin's reaction to this. Those that passed, those that are no longer with us, they paved the way forward. They did what, like, they lived their lives, and they are now dead with the hopes that those that are still alive will live a better future, you know, without all the wars of the past. That's kind of how this made me feel. The song was really, really different. It was not what I expected whatsoever from Kingdom, and I think that's really good to end on a surprise for this video, because not that the Kingdom openings were formulaic whatsoever. They were all very different and very impressive and great from one another, but hearing something so different definitely sets these openings apart from one another, the whole list. I'm very, very surprised, and I'm very in awe of the vision and the direction that this opening went in, because I honestly would have expected to see much more of the action, much more of the wars and everything happening. And granted, there was action within this, and there was, you know, showcasing some of the wars, but this one definitely did spend more time focusing on characters and showing characters and their groups that they belong to and everything. And I think that that's great, because that seems to be the main focus of Kingdom. You know, all these different groups belong to different factions and everything, and it's good to be reminded of who belongs where and who is fighting for what, I guess. So yeah, this was really, really fun to actually see the way it was done here. I really did appreciate this. And you know, another thing, I think it's showing, when it's showing each group, each faction, it's showing their banner behind them, but it's so like translucent that it's kind of hard to pick out whose banner is what or anything. Like it's really hard to tell, but it's a cool idea, and I really think it's a nice way to symbolize who belongs to what group. There's a lot of flower imagery within this, and it's going back to what I was talking about in one of the earliest openings and within this one as well, that the battlefields that they're fighting on are all sandy, they're all dead, and you know, there's no life on them whatsoever. And this is about showing the future and showing life blooming and everything. And obviously characters, when they grow alongside one another, you could say that they are blooming as well. So yeah, maybe this is a really, really important character arc, maybe one that's not so much focused on the fighting and the action, but more so focused on drama and character growth, character arcs, resolutions, and everything like that, because that's the feeling that I'm getting from this. Yeah, this was an absolutely phenomenal opening to end this on, and I hope that we get more Kingdom along the way. I'm excited to maybe one day check out the endings as well, but this was really, truly great, and I'm glad that we were able to check out the Kingdom openings finally. But yeah, I think I'm gonna call this one there for the day, and I hope that you guys enjoyed. If you did, please leave a like and subscribe if you've not done so already, and comment down below letting me know your favorite. Hit the notification bell, you'll be notified when future videos go live on the channel, and share this with a friend who might enjoy Kingdom reaction content. I hope that you enjoyed this video, because I had a lot of fun checking these out today. We're gonna wrap this one up. I hope that you guys are having a great day today, and that you're able to take it easy. I will see you in the next one. Take care.